All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the distributive property when we're talking about expressions, okay? I know it says expanding and factoring expressions. Tomorrow we'll talk about factoring, okay? Because I don't want to put too much on us for one day. So we're going to talk about using the distributive property. So we're going to first look at these first three examples up here and talk about these. So it says simplify the following expression by following the order of operations. Okay. So the order of operations, and just so we're clear, these are all, well, these two are addition, that's subtraction. We can use, well, what I always learned was, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, whichever one comes first, and then addition and subtraction. Okay, so first we'll do the distributive property. Okay, so we'll do what's inside of the parentheses first, okay, and then we'll talk about how we use the distributive property. So we have 6, okay, and then in the parentheses we have 3 plus 9, okay. Now 3 plus 9, we'll do those first, that's 12, and we'll just bring the 6 down. Now this is 3 times 12. Or 3 times 12, 6 times 12, sorry. Okay? So when you do 6 times 12, that's multiplication. So that will be 72. Okay? All right, now we have 5, and then parentheses 9 plus 2. Okay? We'll do the parentheses first. That's 7. Well, I did subtraction, didn't I? That's 11, sorry. And then bring the 5 down. So 5 times 11 is 55. Okay. Anytime that there is a number right next to the parentheses, you're going to multiply this number, whatever in the parentheses, okay? So 8 minus 4 is 4. We'll just bring our 2 down. Okay. Now, we have 2 times 4, and that will give us 8. All right. So, as long as they are both numbers, both constants on the inside of these parentheses, we can go ahead and add or subtract or multiply or divide them. Okay. But let's look at this question right here. How is 7 parentheses x plus 2, that's a plus again, different? Brainstorm how this problem can be simplified. Well, this is where the distributive property comes in. Okay, so we'll come back and look at this one. Let's talk about distributive property. The distributive property allows the number outside of the parentheses to be distributed. Now what that's talking about, and I'm going to write this x plus 2. It's talking about multiplying the outside number, 7, times the first term and then the second term. Okay? So we're going to multiply 7 and x. We're going to multiply 7 and 2. Okay? To the terms inside the parentheses. Okay? So here's an example down here, but I'm using this one. You can always look on your printout or on the packet information at the top of the page. Okay? Okay, so we distribute that. So like I said, we're going to multiply 7 and x. Okay? 7 and x just gives me what? Just gives me 7x. Okay, I can't combine them, so it gives me 7x, so a coefficient of a variable. Now this is plus, and these are both positive, so it'll stay a plus. 7 times 2 is 14. Okay? So I've simplified that expression. All right, so let's look at another example. Each of the 4 members of the Robinson family, now we've talked about the Robinson family and their pop and pizza and ice cream, ordered a drink, D. So just below this bottle of soda, I'm going to put a D, okay, for drink. 2 slices of pizza, P. So I'm going to put a P here and 1 here. Okay. And an ice cream cone, C. All right. Now, we can rewrite this, okay, because I need to combine these 2 P's. Okay. So let's rewrite this in terms of our variables that we know now. So I have a 4, parentheses, that's just 1D, 1 drink, plus how many slices of pizza? 2P, all right, 2 slices of pizza, plus 1 cone. Okay, so I could rewrite this as this expression right here. Okay, now it says distribute and write the expression to represent their order. Well, I've written my expression, okay, but now I need to distribute this 4 to each term within the parentheses. So I have 4 times D, that gives me 4D, okay, plus 2P, or 4 times 2P, well, kind of the same way we did simplifying expressions, we'll multiply the coefficient with this constant, okay, because we're distributing. So we have 8P, okay, plus 4 times C is 4C, okay. So this is your expression now after we have distributed. Use the distributive property. So 4 drinks, 8 slices of pizza, and 4 ice cream cones. Okay? Now let's look at a couple more examples. Use the area models below to distribute. Okay? So if we were to find the area, it's length times the width. Okay? So another way we can write this, we know the width is 5, and it's not going to change. 3x, well, if we want to know the total area, we need to add this plus 2. Okay? So this is an expression we can write to solve this, or not to solve it, but to simplify this expression. So we can distribute now. So 5 times 13, or 3x will give me 15x. Okay. 5 times 2, well, that gives me 10. So now I'm left with 15x plus 10, and that's equal to the area that I have now. Okay. Okay. Let's check this other one out. 7 is the width. Okay. So we can use 7x, and this is a negative 9, so minus 9. Okay. In the other video, I talked about, and on some of the Google Classroom meetings, I've talked about this. So negative 9. Negative 9 is the same thing as adding. So x minus 9 is the same thing as x plus negative 9. Okay? Same thing. Distributive property, I'm going to multiply by each one. So here I'm going to get 7x, and now I have 7 times negative 9, okay, because it's a subtraction, negative 9. So it's negative 63. Okay? So if I was to write this, it would be 7x minus 63. Sorry, that came out right in the line. Okay? We'll do a couple more here. All right, we'll do a couple up here, and then we'll do these three down here. So let's do a couple up here. All right, so I have 5, parentheses 6x plus 9. Okay, that might be hard for you to read, but that's 5 parentheses 6x plus 9. It's at the top of the page, number 4. So I'm going to use a distributive property. I'm going to multiply that 5 by each term in those parentheses. Okay. I cannot combine what's in the parentheses because there's a variable, a coefficient variable, and a constant. Okay, I cannot combine those. So this is where we use the distributive property to simplify. So 5 times 6x, well, 5 times 6 is 30, and I'm just going to bring the variable with it. This is going to be plus because both of them are positive because it's a plus 9 and there's no negative with the 5. So 5 times 9 is 45. Okay. All right. We'll do number 5. So 4 times 3k minus 2. Okay. Use the distributive property. Okay, multiply that outside number by each term in the inside. So 4 times 3k. So 4 times 3 is 12, and I'm just going to bring the variable with it. Notice this is a minus 2. Okay, so I can carry this negative with me. Okay, because a positive 4 times a negative 2. Okay, well, that's a negative. Anytime you multiply different signs, it's going to be negative. Okay, so 4 times 2 is 8, and I can just bring the negative with it, that minus. Okay, now if this was negative out here, then we would change, but it wasn't. Let's do number 8. Okay, because we've been working on just 2 terms inside the parentheses. Well, this one has 3. There's no difference. We're going to multiply 8 by each term on the inside. So 8 times p, well, that's 8p. Okay, plus 8 times 7. Okay, should give us 56. Plus 8 times 2q. Okay, 8 times 2 is 16. We'll just bring the q with it. Okay, there's nothing different. It doesn't matter how many terms are on the inside. You're going to distribute that what's on the outside to all of them. Now, with 10 through 11, it says simplify the expression using the distributive property, then combine any like terms. Okay, so as you can see, we have a number on the outside of the parentheses. Then we have an operation, and in this case, plus 10, so that's a constant. So we'll do our distributive properties first. 6 times 4c will be 24c, minus 6 times 2 is 12, and then now we'll just do plus 10. Okay, our like terms, well, we have 2 constants. We have a negative 12, and we're going to add 10 to it. So negative 12 plus 10, they're opposite signs. Okay, so we subtract, so that leaves us with negative 2. So 24c minus 2. Okay. Now let's look at number 11. We have, again, we have a term on the outside of our parentheses. We're not going to multiply our 6 by this outside term. We only multiply the 6 by the terms on the inside of the parentheses. So 6 times 3b and 6 times 7. So 6 times 3 is 18. We'll carry the variable with it, which is b, plus 6 times 7, okay, gives us 42. Okay, and then we'll just bring down this 5b with it. Now, we're going to combine like terms, so our like terms now have the same variable. Okay, so we're going to do 18b plus 5b. Like I told you, we add the coefficients. So 18 times 5, or 18 plus 5, sorry, is 23, and we're going to carry that coefficient b. Okay, so 23b, and then we're just going to move this constant, 42, down here to the bottom. If I can make that 2 look any better. Okay. Okay, now, these two, there was a term on the outside and at the end. This time, the term is in the front, so we're going to look at the back side of the expression. Okay, we're still treating it the same. This is just a plus 2, so that's a positive 2. So we're going to distribute 2 over the whole, the two terms on the inside of the parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my 3x down. I'm going to add my 2 times my 4, that's 8. Okay, and I'm going to bring the x down with it. And then 2 times 7, well, that's a positive 14. Okay, combine my like terms. This time they're on the front part of my expression. So 3x plus 8x, well, 3 plus 8 is 11. And I'll just bring my variable with it, x, and then bring my constant, plus 14. Okay? So this is all that you're going to have today, okay, is using the distributive property and solving these questions, okay? Tomorrow we'll work on factoring, okay? I just wanted to give you one thing at a time, though. So the distributive property, okay, as it says right here, and it said it in the front of the video, distributive property allows the number outside of the parentheses to be distributed, okay, so multiplied to the terms inside the parentheses, okay, just like this. So make sure you use the video. There's only going to be about 5-6 questions on it, and go ahead and get started on those, and have a good day.